hello, and bienvenidos to our Latinx podcast listeners. This is the Air Buds Podcast. It's happening again, despite what my lawyer says. Hey, I'm Jamel.
I'm his lawyer, Peter.
I'm his other lawyer, Mike.
We're going to keep doing it.
And I guess I'm a pro bono lawyer today.
Let's go. We got extra lawyers.
He's consulting. We'll introduce you in a minute, but feel free to talk.
What? That's such a mix. What type of
No, okay, that's fair.
Yeah.
It's a real mixed signal, but I'll keep talking.
just like shut your fucking face, but also give anything interesting to say.
I like having that mysterious energy happening. But we got annoying business to get out of the way at the top of every podcast. And guess what? If you want to support the buds, you can go to patreon.com/airbudspod. We released 2 bonus episodes last week. One where Peter and Jamel review a random episode of Law and Order from 1998.
It wasn't random. It was hand selected.
Yeah, it was episode 1 of 2002's post 9/11.
Yeah, it was season 13. Oh. We picked it up from after 9/11.
It was their first swing at 9/11.
Yep, and you guessed it, a white dude is pretending to be a terrorist.
Great. Actually, I listened to that episode, and as someone who barely knows anything about Law and Order, highly enjoyed it. So yeah, patreon.com/airbudspod. And then anything else what do we usually do? Oh yeah, Apple Podcasts 5-star review. I feel a little rusty. First episode of the new year. Come on. Go to Apple Podcasts, leave us a 5-star review. It really helps us climb the charts, get people out there listening to us. Please, thank you. Okay. Now, to the podcast. We have a very incredible guest today. His work as a writer on Hacks and The Good Place and every show that you love. He even wrote on one of my favorites of all time, Delocated. Love to talk about that, but no one probably ever watched it that listens to this show because it's all a bunch of
wow, way to walk that back. Way to walk
somehow complimented and insulted our guest.
Right. My head.
Yeah,
Still haven't said my name, so I don't know if I'm allowed to talk yet. I'm getting nagged left and right.
You can watch his excellent stand-up special, Joe Mande's award-winning comedy special, on Netflix right now. Please welcome Joe Mande. Joe, I'm sorry for all the mixed signals I've been getting.
It's cool. That's what's that called? Peacocking, right? Negging.
Look, man, we're not gonna lie, son. This is a big episode for us. So Ben has been practicing his shit in the mirror.
Clearly.
He was calling me.
I was planning these
How do
insults.
I do this?
Yeah. No, honestly, I'm 3 cold brews already, so I'm a little buzzing. That's all.
Oh yeah. Oh, you should have told us she was just straight up on meth, dog.
Yeah.
Well, Joe, welcome to the show. Before we get into today's NBA news, I want to take a little bit of a trip back in time and ask you about your old beef with Gilbert Arenas.
Sure. Yeah, I mean, I don't even remember what year that was. I had just joined Twitter and for some reason had an afternoon to kill and went after Gilbert Arenas. I was making fun of his avatar choices. They were he was using a lot of really filthy memes as his profile picture, and I was just sort of saying it was kind of fucked up. Kids follow you, dude. And he found me and started going after me on Twitter and was just he just kept attacking me, but in a way that they were all setups for me to attack him right back, he would
almost
be
he was just you guys are a comedy duo unintentionally.
Yeah, honestly, yes. And so he was doing deep dive research on me. He'd be like, you host a show at UCB and tickets are only $5. Right? I was and then he'd be like, I know, I know hookers that charge more for jokes. They'd just be like, these jokes made no sense. And then,
that's an insane premise that we have to buy that hookers charge for jokes.
Yes, exactly. So then I had a lot of questions about that. And one thing that I still I have to give him credit. one thing he called me out on was something like truly like something I never told anyone. He was like, "You got rejected from USC film school," and I was like, "How the like? Do you work for the FBI, my dude? Like, how did you find that out? That was crazy." I was just like, "How? Yeah."
Gil used to work admissions. People don't know that he was the admission guy.
Yeah.
Over there for a couple
Yeah.
years.
Nothing does sting more for the rest of your life than any college that rejected you.
Oh,
As
for
something to hold
sure.
on
Yeah.
to.
I mean, you know, and like when I was on Twitter, the thing that always was the most upsetting was when like a troll would say something that was absolutely true, like you couldn't refute it. You're like, you know, just like an insult that was like, no, that is accurate. I can't say anything. But yeah, we went back and forth for a couple hours, and he got like more and more insane. At one point, he changed his profile picture to a picture of me. And then I don't know if he stopped himself or someone at the Orlando Magic who he was playing for at the time told him to like stop it because he was like truly seemed like he was losing his mind, and he deleted his Twitter altogether. And then for a while, I was getting a lot of angry messages from Wizards and Magic fans mad at me that
Which I don't even know why we had anything to say. Hey, fuck Gilbert Arenas.
That might be the highlight of his Magic career, to be honest.
Yeah, definitely a highlight, one of the few highlights. But I, you know, and then like it all happened in a very short amount of time, and then my wife came home, and I was kind of excited, telling her like, "Oh, I got in this fight with Gilbert Arenas," and then I had to explain who Gilbert Arenas was, and she was like, "So you spent all day like choosing to get into a fight with a guy who brought a gun into a locker room?" And I was like, "Yeah." Yeah, and
Not
I
just
won.
a gun, by the way, 4 guns.
4 guns,
He
sure.
scored 60 on Kobe, babe. I had to.
Yeah, no. And I like the craziest thing is like he was like one of my favorite players at the time. So then it was just like this very conflicting thing where it was like he's attacking me, so I feel like compelled to you know talk back. But yeah, I don't know. You guys have ongoing beef with Gilbert
Well,
Arenas?
my problem with Gilbert is just that he thinks it's funny that he kind of robbed the Wizards. But it's like to call it a robbery is a little, I mean, his knee also exploded.
Yes.
So, you know,
Right.
he's dealing with his own trauma. And that's
Sure.
something I need to understand, but also he can kiss my ass. But that's got nothing to do. You should definitely listen to his podcast, Josiah Johnson, a friend of the program. Come on, we support all types of content farms.
And now cut to 10 years later, and you're not on Twitter, and he is on Twitter.
Right. Yeah. It's come full circle, and you know, and I'm ready to squish the beef with him for sure.
You should go on the podcast.
I would love to. Yeah. I don't know. I don't know if he'll have me. He seems to hold grudges. I do not.
Well, the good thing is that you could probably Zencaster in and not have to go see him face to face.
That is true. Yeah, I could say that's like, oh yeah, no, because of COVID, I feel like I should just stay home, or maybe at an address you can't find, even with your connections with USC.
You do live USC adjacent, so you should be concerned. You know,
yes, exactly.
he's familiar.
He's just hanging around the USC campus, be like, Joe Mandy's going to want to get back into this college eventually.
Right.
Joe, you're a Timberwolves fan, is that correct?
Yeah, sadly, I am.
Yeah, how you feeling about the season currently?
I don't know. I mean, I feel like the season in general, of all, you know, the last 3 years, people have argued like they're asterisk seasons. This one to me feels like the most asterisk-y of them all, just because it's like, you know, it's like watching the G League championship. You know, like it just the COVID's just ravaged it in a way that it's like it doesn't feel like a real season. So, like the Timberwolves, like we're playing, they're the most like hot and cold team I've ever seen. Honestly, like when they're cooking, it's like so fun and they seem kind of unstoppable. And then like the next night, they like can't hit a shot and everything falls apart. So
every game right now feels like one of the 2 varsity vans to the away high school game broke down, and the JV players who like played in the game before are like, "Oh shit, I have to start now after this?" That's like feel the energy of every player. Like, oh, this guy's. I don't know who this guy is on my team, but he's sure excited to be here, and I'm happy for him to get 8 points.
That's why I love it, man. This shit is beautiful. We had the first Ecuadorian guy to ever play in an NBA game.
Yeah.
Yo, we're breaking barriers, dog. Like this shit is like what if your best player had to play with the cast of Wacky Racers?
Yeah, it's not even that. It's not even like it's like the varsity bus broke down, and then the JV bus broke down, and then you just got like a computer program to auto generate 7 basketball players, so you have a roster. Like sometimes, like I'll see like an alert on my phone of someone who's been called up, and it's like that's just a fake name. That's not a real person.
Yeah,
They had a guy named Guy.
Yeah.
Dude on the Heat. The NBA put up a post that said Guy scored 17 points.
Right.
Which is incredible. Yeah.
What was his name?
Guy.
No, it's not Guy Torrey.
No, it was Fieri. Fieri Guy. That's what it was.
It's Kyle Guy.
Even worse.
Also the same name as Verbs, the rapper. Local
Kyle
LA
Guy, that's
rapper.
a line from South Park. That's a line that they say in South Park. Kyle Guy.
Kyle Guy. Yeah.
They also like it seems like a lot of NBA teams are operating like streaming services where they're just like rebooting people for like nostalgia reasons. You know, it's like, oh, Lance Stevenson, let's bring him back. People, oh, Mario Chalmers, people remember him. It's like literally like they're like just scraping the bottom of the barrel to sell tickets.
Joe Johnson checking into a Celtics game a couple weeks ago did feel like an Avengers character coming back in like a Disney Plus thing, or be like, oh, guess so-and-so's getting a TV show in a couple years. Good for him.
I swear to God, when they signed Joe Johnson, they tried to hide it. Like there was no press release. Like I just saw a video of him in the jersey. I'm like, they didn't have nobody talk to him before he walked out there.
Yeah, Isaiah Thomas, I think, will have done a 10-day contract with half the league by the time the season's over.
That is cool. I would love for one player to like. I mean, Jeff Green is close, but like one player to like shoot the moon and just literally play for every team. You should like get a plaque, or you should automatically go to the Hall of Fame if that happens.
I think Ish Smith is officially halfway there.
That rules. Yeah.
Yeah.
So with this 10-day contract, you could really truly bounce around, just get it all taken care of in one season.
You know what I'm saying? Better than headlining a goddamn Yuckle Yucks or wherever you got to go.
You're right. It actually is not as many as I thought. Ish Smith leads it with 11 teams. And tied with Anthony Tolliver, of course.
The Hood's favorite.
Trevor Ariza, 10 teams. Although Ariza's played on like a couple teams twice, so I feel like you should get like a half point if you're on the Lakers again.
Trevor Ariza is like he's speaking of robbing teams. That guy, the past like 5 years, has robbed like 3 different teams, right?
Yeah, they just pay him to keep his hair braided.
That's a good deal.
I'll do that. Probably be offensive, but I'll do it.
If you were Trevor Ariza, you would do it. We follow the logic. It's not, you know what I'm saying? Everybody understands what's going on here.
I would do it as a white person. I'll just say it. There we go. All right.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you, Peter. Thank you, Peter, for standing on, you know what I'm saying? Standing on your nuts right there. That's really good of you, man.
Someone's got to do it.
There were always girls. Sorry, I was just gonna say there were always girls in my junior high that would come back from Mexico on vacation with like full cornrows, and it was always just like, that is wild. Like even I know this. You should not do that.
Yeah, as someone who was in Mexico recently, that's still very much happening today.
No,
a lot of little white girls with full cornrows. I don't know why that's a thing.
Okay, technically we can blame Adele now.
True.
That's right. Yeah.
That's right.
Joe, as we're recording this, your Timberwolves are in town to play the Lakers down at the Crypto.com arena. Are you heading down there? Gilbert, if you're listening, don't.
I am too worried about COVID right now. I normally am right there and feeling somewhat unsafe wearing my Wolves gear, but yeah, not this time, unfortunately. Although I would love to see, Jake Layman starting or whatever is happening right now. I can't even follow.
Karl Anthony Towns is not playing at the moment. He's out with COVID, tragically. But he made headlines because he said Russell Westbrook recently on a Twitch stream that he chases stats. Do you think Russ is going to have extra motivation tonight to get a triple double?
Oh, I mean, more than every other game. No, I mean, it's like one of those things where it's like, he's not wrong, but he shouldn't say that. He's not at the level where he should say that.
Yeah, what does chasing stats even mean? Carl, do you chase wins?
Right. Yeah, maybe we should try
chase
that.
wins more.
Yeah.
That's the thing, is that Russell Westbrook has this reputation for chasing stats or whatever. Bill Simmons perpetuates it a lot, but he wins 70% of the games where he gets a triple double. Like, that is like, if that is the case, then you want him to get a triple double every night, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Anyways,
Anthony Edwards is
breaking
awesome.
analysis here. Triple doubles turn out to be pretty good. I think we've really come together to educate the fan base.
I'm sorry, I was thrown off because now I'm in my head like, what do assists? What does that even mean, dog? I passed you the ball, you scored, so now I get credit for that.
Right.
Who the fuck decided that was the thing? I think rebounds should count for 2.
2 assists.
Yeah. Or just 2 units. 2 units of stats.
Has fantasy basketball broken you and all of us this year? Like, is anybody still playing? I mean, I actively have not set my roster in weeks. For that, I apologize to all the leagues that we're in together. But
I'm getting messages about this shit, Peter.
Guys, I just had a child, okay?
Look, we know that, man. Nah, dog, we know that, man.
You have a lot of time where you're like holding a baby with one hand. You could like set your roster.
Honestly, that's true. And I do put it that way. I do control the Apple TV remote pretty flawlessly,
exactly.
So.
Peter, you have been more responsive over text messages since you had a baby than you have been in 3 years.
Yeah, you've never once asked me where your money was. I've owed Peter money for 4 years. Now you got a kid. Oh, where's my money at?
Well, dude needs diapers, you know? It's not about me anymore.
That's real.
Yeah, COVID has definitely destroyed fantasy basketball for me. I think in one league, the most expensive league that I'm in, 10 of my players are currently out with COVID. I'm like, well, just lost $100 on that one.
I know.
Because like NBA teams can switch roster spots. We don't even have enough like waiver pickups for this shit.
Yeah,
you're just gonna eat it.
I did my 2 pickups of the week, and now I can't add any more, and I've got 10 players out.
There's one person in a league I'm in that he's clearly the only person that's still like super invested. It's just so funny seeing him like work the angles and picking up, you know, like Greg Monroe or whoever. Like he's just like every night he's just like finding some like guy off the scrap heap and putting him in, and you know he's gonna win the league just by doing that.
Yeah, it's really sad to see
intensity.
There was like Greg Monroe was like the trending player, like that Yahoo was like, you should pick him up. He's available.
They have no one else.
Like, oh man. Yeah.
Is that same dude in your league also sending you bullshit trades?
Oh, all the time. Not only that, with like long, you know, there's like a memo section where he's trying to explain like why this is actually a good trade for me.
Jesus.
Yeah.
I'd be like, yo, send me your address too. I'm gonna come fight you. Dog. There's a guy we're all in a league together, and this guy keeps trying to trade me nothing for Bradley Beal. And I was in last place. But then slowly as the COVID ball started happening, now I'm not in the basement anymore. Brad's back. He's vaxxed. He's better than ever.
Oh, he's vaxxed. I didn't know that. That's good for him.
Dog, he's vaxxed. He's averaging 30 since he got vaxxed. Get at me. The vax game. We beat the Cavs. We beat the real Cavs. Well, sort of. Because Rubio had just died the day before. R.I.P.
Oh, my dude.
Oh, right. You must have affection. So, yeah, let's get into the Ricky Rubio talk. Peter, obviously, big loss for you and your Cavs.
The glue, man. He was the glue. Him and Kevin Love, former, a generation ago Wolves babies. He, man, I saw him in 2 games in New York City. Saw him score over 60 points. He was playing so well. Broke my heart into a million pieces. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
Very sorry, Peter.
Yeah.
Same thing happened. There was one season where he was similarly just playing out of his mind, and then his knee exploded, and it was
Yeah,
all
same
over.
knee. I think it was 2012.
Yeah.
I mean, some dudes just are better than their bodies, man. It had John Wall. Have to make it about me.
Same with, I mean, me personally.
Oh shit.
I just mean,
blow out your knee?
in my
Oh.
in my head, I was like, I'm gonna be in the NBA, and then I was just trapped in this 5'9" body.
Oh yeah, sure. I thought you like tore your like ACL doing stand up. Like I was crushing you.
Yeah, no,
was-
that, I mean, it could happen any night just because I do so many act outs. I'm such a physical comedian that, yeah, I could hurt myself at any point.
Peter,
broke.
do you want the Cavs to re-sign Ricky Rubio this offseason?
Oh, hell yeah.
Really?
Why not? Olympics, Ricky Rubio running around teaching Darius Garland how to be good. I feel like he is the NBA point guard whisperer. You see him, the time he spent, in Phoenix. He spent time in Utah. There's like Darius Garland clearly got infinitely better at passing and just floor awareness with being around Rubio, even if he's hurt for the last,
I mean, a lot of people for the Wolves like fan base were pissed when they traded him, not only for like sentimental value, but because like Anthony Edwards loved him so much and was like, that was also his dude.
What is Torian Prince doing for you guys?
I don't know.
Exactly.
Getting COVID.
Nothing.
Hanging out.
Yeah, no, it was I mean, that trade, but really that was the final kind of butterfly effect from the Jared Allen trade that the Cavs basically just like snuck into, which was probably the best trade of the last, probably for the Cavs in the last like decade. Because when him and Garland and Mobley are on the floor, we're fucking magic. It's fucking beautiful. I think we'll still make the playoffs, and they're going to be a little rough right now. But you're right. I think
Mobley's crazy.
This is the most asterisk season because we're all now as a society just like, we're not going to fix COVID anymore. We're just all going to die. So
we're just all going to get sick and then watch NPCs replace us for 2 weeks.
Yeah. So it's sad. I thought he was playing so well, and if you ever watched them on League Pass, broke my heart a little bit. But yeah, Evan Mobley is the fucking truth. It's fantastic.
Dude, he did the fucking Julius Irving.
Then Kuzma dapped him up.
I mean, come on, dude. Yeah. And then Kuzma did make a bucket attempting to do the Julius Irving later, but it did look really dumb.
I didn't know that. That's funny. Yeah. I mean,
he went under the backboard too, but it looked, he Kuzma'd it. You know what I'm saying? It just looked like, what a doof.
Kuzma's funny because he left LA and now it really seems like his whole brand is like, I'm just gonna try to get on House of Highlights every night, doing something. It's like, I don't know, it doesn't even have to be like a good play. Just I'm gonna like say something or wear something silly. I just like I have to like, he's just like a content farm at this point.
Yeah, he is a guy who got broken up with, who's just trying to show I'm okay.
Right.
I'm doing okay. Look at me.
Look at my engagement. So many people are liking the things I'm doing. I don't need you to like me. All these people like me.
And I love him. Fuck it. Keep doing it, Kuz. You little freak. I bought his Pumas yesterday. I went to the Citadel and bought some Kuzma Pumas. That's how much I love that man.
Pumas?
Kuzmas.
I don't think I realized he was a Puma athlete, but it makes so much sense for him. Yeah, everything is just a little off with that guy.
I feels like he's the dude who got divorced at like 52 and got his ear pierced and like traded his car in for like a motorcycle, but it's a tricycle. Like he was kind of
he's got like one of those like fake Batmobile things with 3 wheels. Yeah.
He's like
he's that guy.
He's like, it's cool. I can drive drunk in this. I can pick up my teenage son in this thing. No problem. Like he was so suppressed or kind of beaten down by the LeBron Lakerness of it all for so long, and now he's just like, he shoots threes like this too. I feel like he just like with absolute reckless abandon. So he's played well for you guys. I mean, you guys are.
He's been incredible for the Wizards.
And I love comedy basketball analogies like that because I know whoever Peter just described is a real person he knows.
Yeah, you're very specific about the tricycle thing.
Yeah, shout out to my cousin Rick.
You also described Jalen Rose right now too.
I described it Jalen Rose.
Jalen Rose, is he gonna cut his shit to look like Guile? He has it long enough to where he can make it look like Guile.
I would love that. And he starts wearing the camo pants and a tank top.
I mean, he's halfway there.
Yeah.
Make the jacket pants.
Hope you're doing well in your divorce. Jalen, come on the podcast.
Yeah, he is probably his most available. We should probably, we'll draft up an email later this week. We got company. I don't want to do it right now.
Yeah. Guys, the Nets' Kyrie Irving is nearing his comeback for the Nets right now. Still not vaxxed. Planning on being a part-time NBA player.
So what do you do if you're the Nets? Hold on, I'm sorry. Are they going to try to get the 5 seed?
I have no idea.
You have to try to get the 5 seed, so you don't have home court, so you can play Kyrie.
I guess you're right. I didn't even think about that.
I hate when I hate that he won. Like he literally, it's like watching a kid have like a tantrum, and then the parents are like, "Well, shit, we have to get on the airplane. Like we can't. Like, okay, you win. Like here's your candy or whatever. You know what I mean? It's just like that he just had this tantrum, and it lasted long enough that they are like, okay, fine, you can be a part-time NBA player, a thing that does not exist.
Damn, I just was imagining a baby wailing for noise canceling headphones.
Yeah, and then he got them.
Noise canceling headphones.
Just like in the Best Buy vending machine, just on the floor in front of it. Yeah.
I don't know if he won or if we fell to him. Like the world came, because I've been on here saying good for the Nets taking a stand. That was bullshit. They're full of shit.
They ran out of guys. What do you do?
Just ran out of people.
Yeah, exactly.
And they're are they paying him at all? Like
they've been paying him half because he technically they were paying him half his salary for the away games, but they were not paying him for home games.
He seems like he seems like the kind of guy that would demand it in Bitcoin or whatever too. Like he's almost there.
Right. He wants his salary in monkey pictures.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, bored apes, please.
Yeah.
Can anyone do interested apes?
You can,
engaged
but
apes. Yeah.
No, the more interested they are, the value decreases.
They don't want to seem like they're trying too hard.
It's all the boredom. The boredom is what sells.
Yeah. I just also want to give a shout out to Jamel, who at the beginning of the season basically called this by saying that the Nets were running their team like a GameStop, where it was all part-time employees. And that's what you predicted was going to happen. And now Kyrie is a part-time GameStop employee.
You guys are welcome. It's buy 2 get 1 free used games right now. We have several copies of Onimusha 3. Come into my house or my stop. I don't know what to tell y'all. I mean, this is the future of basketball. 25 guys on a roster playing 30 games apiece.
Why not?
It's a trip.
It sucks, man. Basketball fucking kind of sucks right now, I'll be honest.
I think it's good.
It's been really hard to watch, honestly. It has. It's been hard to watch this season, harder than the past 2 seasons.
It is
past
like
2 seasons,
I will say when things are clicking, like I watched the Nets playing the Agua Caliente Clippers last night, and the Clippers won, and it was like, this is exciting. I don't know who any of these guys are, but they just beat James Harden and Kevin Durant. That's pretty exciting. I mean, they were so happy. It was like truly like they won like Game 7 of the finals, and it was like, all right, it's New Year's Day or whatever. Like these guys are hung over.
They get free sweets at the Morongo.
Right. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
It's big for them. Jack in the Box tacos, all that.
That was a fun game. It was fun to watch the hot water Clippers just basically jump out in front of the best team in the league or one of the best teams in the league and not let that lead go. Hey,
buddy, Luke Kennard, the $60 million man. He was out. Oh, I thought Luke Kennard dropped 50.
Luke
No,
Kennard got
it was,
COVID like 2 hours before the game.
Eric Bledsoe got like 50. It was like
Yeah.
that. It was that game. It was like, oh my
Yes!
god.
Yeah.
The once a year Eric Bledsoe game. That's how you bring in the fucking new year,
Like
bro.
no one could stop Amir Coffee.
It does give people like Bledsoe though, like it has a little bit of like that Drew League feel where like you see someone and you're like, oh, that's right, you are a 1 in a million basketball player who like just gets to show out like that a little bit more because you're now surrounded by the Agua Caliente club.
Right. Yeah, it was funny because after he was like the guy they interviewed after the game. He was just like, I just want to put my team in a position to win. My team was really good. It's like, this isn't your team, dude. this week it's your team because no one else is there.
Right. You're playing with temps. You're not playing with actual employees.
I like it until, I'll be honest, when I saw Rui got COVID, I wanted to throw my phone in the LA River. It was kind of the breaking point. But then we won a game, and I was like, it's fine, it's good.
Mine was when Towns got it again. I was like, oh my god, you guys are getting sick multiple times now. Like this is a nightmare.
He gets it, and then you see an ad for him advertising
with home test kits. Yeah.
Like,
he's like, this is how I found out. Effective.
Honestly, a very effective advertisement.
Yeah, I was like, I guess these work.
I did one Sunday. I was like, yo, y'all got Digi? Y'all got buttons on yours? All
right. One player that has not gotten COVID yet this season is the Chicago Bulls' DeMar DeRozan, who is playing out of his mind. Back-to-back game-winning shots this weekend. One against your Wizards, Jamel. Yeah, I'm sorry to say.
Played pretty good defense.
He bought some clutch boost at the Gatorade stand.
I swear to God, bro. I think if he I think you just tackle him on the catch. That's the only way you can. And also, it's the Wizards. We love giving up a game winner. It's one of our favorite things to do.
These are actually the first 2 3-pointers DeMar DeRozan has ever attempted, too.
Right.
It's like, oh, I just need 2 people guarding me, jumping off 1 foot, and they go in.
Yeah, fading away from 38 feet.
Hey, it takes time. You know what I'm saying? To figure these things out. My thing is, okay, so DeRozan, he's that shit. It's crazy how he's getting sucked off online after 2 games. After 10 years of people saying he's overrated. 2 games was all it took for everybody to just be like, oh, no, we love him. We stan a king.
Everybody's hurt, man, or everyone's sick. He is the Michael Jordan of the league right now. Him and Eric Bledsoe. They're like the Michael and Larry of the 2022 January NBA season.
Right, of the G League.
Of the G League.
Yeah.
It's the G plus league.
What do you think it's going to take for DeMar DeRozan to get actual MVP consideration? Because he's kind of been the best player on one of the most surprising teams. Is Steph Curry going to have to get COVID? Like, what's it going to take?
Yeah, Steph and LeBron get COVID.
Yeah.
You think LeBron's an actual MVP candidate right now?
I mean, I know the team's bad, but he's averaging 30 and he's got 1 leg, or who knows what's going on. He's playing in Timberland boots.
That's a good point. Steph Curry did get 3rd place voting and his team didn't make the playoffs last year. So
get at me. Come on, man. You can't just average 40 in LA and not get votes.
Remember, didn't Russ win it when they were like the 8th seed?
Yeah, but he averaged a triple-double that year.
Let's see, LeBron.
Which, once again, part of that means the dudes on his team are good at shooting. The fuck is in assists?
Yeah, I mean, it is true. Like, Towns only gets like 3 assists a game. It's because like no one can hit a shot after he passes out of a double team. It's like It's like I would go crazy if I was like, if I was one to chase stats. I'd be like, you're fucking my stats up. You got to make this. This is about me.
And you chasing stats, you want to win the game too. Hey, you son of a bitch, make the shot when I give it to you. I'm chasing stats right now.
LeBron's averaging 28.5 on 52% shooting from the field, 37.6 from 3, 7.5 rebounds, 6.5 assists, and nobody gives a shit.
Is that his best 3-point percentage of his career?
It's up there.
That's probably
It's
around
gotta
there.
be.
One of the Miami years, he might have snuck a 39 in. We don't know.
We don't know, and we're not going to look it up. That's not what this podcast is.
We're not smart, dog.
No, never.
Did you see the video of Anthony Edwards rapping? He's at his house on quarantine, rapping about bricking shots.
And get me out of my jail cell. It's like your very nice apartment in Minneapolis.
It's a pretty good video, Mike.
No, he rules. I love Anthony Edwards. He's the best. He's probably the funniest player in the NBA right now.
Instantly became the funniest player.
Yeah.
The day one of his rookie year.
No, during the draft when he was like, "Oh yeah, I take my own food to Benihana." I was like, "You gotta draft this guy."
Yes, the funniest.
I take my gumbo to Benihana. Where do you go? Fucking your microwaves.
Yeah,
His
he's
leftovers.
the best. He's so good too. I'm very jealous that you have him on your team and I have Ben Simmons on my team.
I guess that's what I don't understand in your team from afar. Obviously, COVID aside, but like all of the pieces are there for you guys to be.
When they don't have COVID, the starting five is far and away the best 5-man grouping in the NBA by like plus minus. It's like they are so good, but like the season's gone to shit, and it's like there has been no way to like get any sort of like cohesive play together. And the bench is a mess. But you're right. I mean, like the pieces do work, at least for the starters.
But y'all are hanging. I mean, are they 8th right now? 7th?
Yeah, there's something like that. I mean, they're like, a couple games under 500. Like they're not like by this point. Usually by this point in the season, it's all like all hope is lost. Like I'm already looking at like Tankathon, whatever. Like I'm already like looking at. I'd be looking at Chet Holmgren clips by this point. So I'm not there yet. This is like the longest I've been in a while. I'm not looking at draft picks yet. So they're still in it. But yeah, I mean, like you're not wrong that like the pieces should work. It's just I think things fall apart once anyone from the bench, anyone from the starting five goes to the bench. Things kind of unravel.
KG aside, is Anthony Edwards your favorite Wolf? Because you got to say KG first, right?
KG obviously number one, and then I would say he's number two. I had a and then Rubio's 3, or maybe it's like tied for second, and then I love Nikola Pekovic. Loved him.
Oh yeah, didn't he used to like do post moves against Bears and shit?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. His whole life was like that Rocky IV training montage. He's just like moving trees around and like running in the snow. Like that's his whole life. He was the best.
Best unibrow. His unibrow was better than AD's as well.
For sure.
Yeah.
He didn't make cosplay as Zangief if you wanted to.
Yes, I mean if we're gonna cast the whole NBA, he would have to be Zangief.
Yeah.
So he's Zangief.
Jalen Rose is Guile.
Jalen Rose is Guile, which is a stretch, but I like it.
Yeah. Steph is Cammy.
For sure.
We'll figure out the rest later.
Yeah.
He had a tattoo of he was getting a tattoo of like body armor on his back, like plates of metal to look like he was wearing armor. He was the coolest.
What?
Yeah.
For real?
Okay. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I'm seeing it right now. And he's also got like a little knight on there.
Yeah.
Strongest back in the league. My back, he's so sturdy.
Yeah. So I mean that's like that was like the maybe the darkest period for me as a fan, where I was like tuning in just to like see what new tattoos Nikola Pekovic had.
God, right.
Yeah.
Dark.
Yeah, pretty dark.
Yeah. When they like listed like a player and like and from their college, it was like Nikola Pekovic wrestling bears in Russia.
Right. Yeah.
So hard.
Bear school.
Jamel, do we want to touch upon your weekly Courtney Williams segment?
All right, look, we'll keep it brief. WNBA free agency just started, and highlighting the unrestricted free agent list is our patron saint, Courtney Williams. The Mystics, please take a chance. If you're listening, anyone from the T-Boat family, we need a guard who can score. Hey, Natasha Cloud, she's great. We love defense, but we need buckets, and we need a legitimate goon who is 5'5" and 108 pounds, who might carry a gun to the stadium. Yeah, I think it would really
we
work.
need that
exactly.
Yeah.
We need that presence
Yeah.
back in DC.
Yeah,
DC
exactly. We need
tradition.
the vibes. It's time to get it. Yeah,
I'll-
get the energy back.
I'll
right.
get into it.
They
I'll
knocked
go
the
back
ball
on Twitter and fight with her if that happens. Just
Yeah.
Yo.
Yeah. Joe, are you are you aware of Courtney Williams?
I'm not really. I was looking.
I
her
got to
up.
tell you, she is
Please.
the female Gilbert Arenas. Incredible Instagram follow.
I'm there. Yeah.
So early COVID, she was inviting strippers on to shake ass and on her Instagram live, and then she was throwing money at her house.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. Do you
Yeah,
think she
so,
was
I mean,
Venmoing them the cash that
I
she
think they
threw?
did after. I think they were actually hooking up Venmos afterwards. But just to tune into that, like I just like looked at her IG live like last April, and I was like, holy shit.
So sort of a Paul Pierce move, right? It's like a
Yeah, she
bit.
is.
Yeah. Her, Jalen, and Paul.
They do belong together. They are spiritually all holding a huge bottle of Crown Royal.
Yeah, and a stack of singles.
Yeah, and so she is that shit.
She was just supporting essential workers during the pandemic. In reality, right? I mean, they were out of work. She was doing charity.
That's what I'm saying. Philanthropy.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the real good IG Live is her having to pick up all of the ones after every IG Live.
Yeah, no, that's true. That's what you pay for. That's what monetizing is about.
Yeah.
Did you fuck with the Lynx back when they were winning?
I watched a lot of Lynx games because it was a very funny period. Just like the amount of like time and energy I put into this miserable franchise, the Timberwolves, and then just like during the offseason, the Lynx becoming like a true dynasty. They couldn't stop winning titles. So I would watch it because it was just nice to see like good basketball in the same court.
Yeah, you could just tell, man. They were packing out games. Like, it was just so many. And I half the arena's like, God damn, I wish this was the Wolves. But it was just.
But also, like Minneapolis, St. Paul, it's one of those cities, kind of like Seattle. Like it's one of those cities that's like, it's made for like a WNBA fan base. It's just like that they support that kind of thing. So it's good. It's like good because I do think people were appreciative.
No, that shit was crazy. Y'all won like 3 or 4. The Lynx versus Sparks never really turned into a real. I remember like so it was like this, one of the biggest moments in league history on a game 5 because they don't let them play 7, which we, obviously the courts made their ruling on that, and it's like this big moment, and then like ESPN is trying to make Lynx Sparks a rivalry for the next 10 years. And it's not really, it didn't really stick after them couple titles, but it was nice.
It just sounds clunky. Both are like Lynx Sparks. Like it's not fun to say those things next to each other. So maybe that could be
the colors don't
mesh.
Yeah, you put them on a t-shirt side by side, it's all a little
Has there been like a successful WNBA rivalry? Because I would think that it's hard, like the players, because they have to go and play and immediately in other countries once the WNBA season ends, and sometimes they play for multiple teams in the off season. Like they just don't have their identity as.
You're right. The WNBA needs a Heat Knicks series where someone pile drives another. You know what I mean? Just like a real like blood feud. That's like what the league needs is.
And that's what Bill Laimbeer was trying to bring us.
I was about to say, Mystics Aces got there a little bit a couple years ago. They got pretty feisty.
Any team that Bill Laimbeer coached will fight you. The Detroit Shock versus the Sparks, that was like one of the biggest fights in the WNBA. And it wasn't that big of a fight. It was kind of like but someone on the Sparks did hit Rick Mahorn.
Wow. Okay.
So it was like, it got real. They were...
This is an upcoming episode of NBA Storytime, isn't it?
I think so.
From Blue
Well, it
Wire
is now.
Podcast.
Did speaking of, was it announced that Bill Laimbeer was fired from the Aces? I feel like I only heard that Becky Hammon was replacing him. Like, did he find out he was getting fired from like when we all did too?
No, they're gonna let Bill sell pretzels.
Yeah, you should sell fudge at the arena. Fudgy.
Did you notice, Joe, that Bill was a little rascal? He played Fudgy.
No, is this
Character
real?
named Fudgy in the original. Absolutely not.
I mean, I totally buy. I guess like it doesn't sync up, but
but it sounds right when you say it.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah. Are you talking our gang or the real little?
Right. Was there a reboot that I'm not aware of?
Bill Laimbeer is secretly 98 years old. No, Peter, we talked about this on the Patreon episode last week, but yeah, Becky Hammon, of course, is leaving the NBA to go coach the Las Vegas Aces, and Bill Laimbeer is kind of just being pushed into like a front office job, it seems like. I don't think he's being fired so much as there's a real
classic Brad Stevens move.
Yeah.
Failing up.
You can't let go of Bill Laimbeer.
No, that hair.
He'll fight you.
He's the mascot, I think. He should just be the mascot.
He should be, and he should wear just a foam version of his own body.
Just put up just like drunk Rambo.
I would love to see a giant foam Bill Laimbeer, but with like that plastic face mask he wore. That would be
awesome. The plastic face mask is key. Can you make foam clear?
I mean, I trust scientists could figure it out.
Yeah, we'll get there. We'll get there. We'll get COVID done first, then clear foam. Right on the way.
One day we'll figure it out.
Bill Laimbeer looks like the guy who shows up to his son's frat house to like really win a beer pong tournament. That's like what he looks like.
Once again, you are talking about a relative of yours.
Again, all right, cousin Bruce, good to shout you out as well.
All right, guys, is there anything else we want to talk about before we wrap it up here?
I guess just a couple more of Peter's family members.
Yeah. Who you got?
Yeah. All right.
Who in your family is like Stacey Augman?
Listen, I've been talking to a lot of family members, so I have a lot of opinions, but I'll save them for the Patreon.
Let's go.
Shout out to your brother who got married recently, no?
Ethan Moses, married.
Yeah.
Charlie Moses, born.
Wow.
A lot of Moses happening.
We'll get into whether the marriage is going to last on the Patreon episode.
My marriage or my brother's marriage?
Both.
Nice.
Well, your brother. Well, yeah, we were just talking about your bro, but we'll toss you in.
Yeah, you definitely want to take. If the over/under is like 1.2, I would take the under. You know,
there you go.
Someone's got to give.
Joe, is there anything you want to plug before we get out of here? Anything you want to direct people towards?
No, I mean my Instagram. Or come see me do stand up when I start touring again. So yeah, I'll be 2022. That's my resolution, is to finally do stand up again.
Well, until Joe defeats COVID and goes back out on the road, check his Netflix special out. Very funny stuff. Really love it.
Thank you.
Jamel, Peter, anything you want to plug before we go?
I want to plug all the Dick Wolf dramas coming back this week. Chicago PD, Chicago Fire, Law and Order, SVU, FBI Most Wanted.
Have you kept up on season 2 of Organized Crime?
A little bit, yeah. I've seen some things.
All right, we should get another pod rolling soon.
It'll happen.
Love it.
Patreon.com/AirbudsPod. Thank you guys for listening. Bye.